All right, we should be live. So welcome everybody. I'm Michigan Sports Talk, as I'm sure all of you guys know. But how's everybody doing today? We got Michigan football tomorrow. It's a great time to be alive. We got new season, 2023 season, and yeah, that is right. All right, so let me just make sure the sound is good. Everybody, if you can tell me if the sound is good. And all right. We got Benny here. That's right. One more sleep. One more sleep is right. All right, sound is good. All right, thank you guys. So, yeah, we can just go ahead and get started here. As you can see, all your comments, I can put your comments up here. So, it should be a fun stream. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. First, wanted to talk about the spread. The spread is 36 right now, obviously in favor of Michigan. So, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. Will Michigan cover the spread? It's 36 points. Me personally, I think they will cover it. But yeah, so the matchup, ESPN matchup predictor has Michigan winning with a 94.8% chance to win. ECU 5.2% chance to win. And then the over/under is 51.5 points. So, let me know in the comment section. I actually want to know that what your guys' score predictions are. Interested to know some of you guys' score predictions, what they are. Let me go ahead and... Alright, there we go. So what's your guys' score predictions? Chris says... Oh, let me get the chat back up. Chris says that Michigan will cover. I think they will. I think they'll cover too. It's 36. So 36 points. I think they'll cover as well. Let me know what you guys think. But Benny says it will be a blowout. Sports Talk with JR. What's up? Go Blue. That is right. We got Michigan football again tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Benny says just win 45-7. That's a good score right there. That is a good score right there. Mike says, give me a shutout. I would love to see that too. That would be definitely, the defense going in, they have a lot of returning starters. Obviously, the secondary, we do have some injury talk that we'll get to. In the secondary, we talked about it in a video. Makari Page, the safeties, and Rod Moore, both with a little banged up injuries. Nothing too serious, but yeah. Joseph says 41-6. Challenge Gamer says 58-14 Michigan. Let's see. Oh, secondary might be a little rusty. I think that may be the only way they score on us. I actually agree with that. The secondary is a concern right now. We do have Josh Wallace. He is expected to start at cornerback. Will Johnson is a little banged up. They don't know if he will play or not. If he doesn't play, many people are saying that it's just, precaution so that he doesn't get, more serious injury. But he is coming off of off-season surgery. So that, obviously just want to make sure that doesn't get worse for him. But hopefully he doesn't need to play in this game. But you know what? Might as well just talk about some Michigan injuries to open up this this live stream. So we'll talk about some injuries here. So again, Will Johnson, Rod Moore, Makari Page in the secondary. Will Johnson, the cornerback, Makari Page, Rod Moore, the safeties. And then we also have 4 wide receivers. Tyler Morris and Peyton O'Leary were also banged up a little bit. They are saying that Tyler Morris may be able to play, but we don't know for sure yet. Again, a lot of these injuries, they should be back fully healthy by week 2. And again, like Will Johnson, just want to make sure that he doesn't get worse. But yeah, see what you guys are saying. Just stay healthy. Yeah, I mean, obviously the main thing right now is just to stay healthy. Everybody, Blake Corum, especially Donovan Edwards, both of them. They just gotta hopefully get even carries and hopefully see some backup running backs. Obviously, we got Benjamin Hall, the freshman. Would be awesome to see some of the freshmen get some playing time. Scotty says 63-0 Michigan. That is a blowout. And that is right, Benny. We need our best guys for the big games to stay healthy for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's really it for injuries. Again, Will Johnson, Rod Moore, Makari Page, Tyler Morris, Peyton O'Leary, a little banged up. And then, yeah, Will Johnson, probably won't play just because of precaution, but he probably could play if he really wanted to. It's not a big game really against East Carolina. And then also Rod Moore and Makari Page, one of those two could play. But again, we'll just have to wait and see, come game time. But we'll see. Signaler says, I hope Orji gets reps of some sort. He is an athlete. Yeah, he definitely is an athlete. And hey, maybe we'll see an Orji in the end zone. You never know. We got some of those last year. Benny says, I believe Orji needs some reps too before we lose him for the future. Yeah, I mean, I did see some people talking about that in the comment section in one of my videos. It would be awesome to use him any way we could because he is a really good athlete. He could probably play any position if he wanted to. I know it is, tough to switch 2 positions, but yeah. All right, so next, let me go back. See what Benny has to say. He should be second string. He's very athletic. I mean, he is a running quarterback, so we might see him tomorrow. We just have to wait and see. We do have, Davis Warren, also Jack Tuttle in there at quarterback. I'm sure we'll see some of those guys, in the second half, hopefully, if it's a blowout. But I do want to talk about East Carolina now. So let's go ahead and talk about East Carolina. Go ahead. So yeah, East Carolina. They went 8-5 last year. They won in their bowl game. Actually, I might as well put up their schedule real quick here. So here's their schedule from last year. You look at the first game against NC State, and they almost beat them. It was 21-20. NC State barely escaped with the win. They beat Old Dominion, Campbell, lost to Navy in double overtime, beat South Florida, and lost to Tulane. They did beat Memphis in 4 overtimes. That was a thrilling game last year. And then they won against UCF, beat BYU in a close game, lost to Cincinnati in a close game, lost to Houston in a blowout, and they beat Temple, and they beat Coastal Carolina in their Birmingham Bowl game. So they finished the season 8-5. So let's go ahead. that back on, and actually we'll probably just show some highlights for Eastern Carolina. Let's see what you guys are saying. Alright, so you read my most recent comment. Which one was that? Like in the live stream? Oh, there we are. Alright, yeah, I see you. Been a Michigan fan for a very long time, for a few years now, but I never knew they existed until just recently saw them playing a basketball game, and that's how I started liking the team. Hey, I mean, you know, we all start somewhere, and but yeah, cool. And then, so yeah, I wanted to talk about East Carolina a little bit. East Carolina, they lost a lot of players from last year. They lost a lot of their top receivers, their 1,000 rushing yard running back. Also, their starting quarterback, Holton Ahlers. Hopefully I said his name right. And then their running back was Keaton Mitchell. He rushed for 1,000 yards last year. He was a very, very good player for them. And their top receivers, who are gone now, both of them 1,000-yard receivers, C.J. Johnson and Isaiah Winstead. So they're missing some talent on offense, breaking in a new quarterback. That new quarterback, he is a mobile quarterback, and his name is Mason Garcia. He can run. He has a little bit of experience. So yeah, that is their starting quarterback. Should be their starting quarterback. And then for running back, they are obviously, replacing Keaton Mitchell, their 1,000 rushing yard running back. And some of the running backs, they do have a couple. Marlon Gunn is a bigger back for them, but one guy is Rajay Harris. He should be the main guy, I think. He had 5 touchdowns in 5 games before suffering a torn ACL. So Rajay Harris, expect him to be in. Shane Calhoun as well. And then also Jarrett Garner and Hatfield. Don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's JSI Hatfield. Not even going to try to pronounce it. But yeah, so that is some of their offense right there. Their defense, I know, wasn't the best. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they did stop the run pretty good. It's just their pass defense was not that great last year. So yeah, that's a little, outlook on East Carolina going into this game. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. But, Michigan, they should be able to, run away with this one. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh, he is not going to be coaching tomorrow. So that could be a big thing. Let me know in the comment section down below your guys' thoughts. Let's see with some comments here. Try to go back. Challenge Gamer says just win. That's right, just win. Benny says Michigan is one of the first schools to play football. Been around for a very long time, Lul. Yeah, they have. Then Sports Talk with JR Jr. says, I really want to go to the Big House for a game because I've never been to Michigan University. I want to go there for college and become a sports broadcaster. Hey, there you go. And Benny says, yeah, 3 full games. Got a 3-game suspension, self-imposed suspension from Michigan. And they also have a recruiting visit ban, which I talked about in my latest recruiting video. That is going to be for week 1 and possibly week 2 against UNLV. But so yeah, Michigan going to be missing Harbaugh for game 1. And Jesse Minter is going to be the interim head coach for game 1. Do you guys think that will affect Michigan tomorrow? With these injuries, we mentioned them. Will Johnson might not play tomorrow because just of precaution, he had off-season surgery. And then Rod Moore, Makari Page, the 2 safeties that Michigan could be potentially missing tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think that will affect Michigan? Me personally, I don't think that will affect Michigan. Even this Jim Harbaugh suspension, I think these players are going to go out there, prove that they're playing for their coach. And, obviously the big thing is Harbaugh was able to coach them throughout the week. So that is definitely huge for Michigan. Benny says, without our head man, that's right, we are without Jim Harbaugh for the first 3 games. Going to have to rely on our great assistant coaching to get us through these first 3 games, which I'm sure they will do a phenomenal job. Benny also says, no, they will do fine. A lot of juniors and seniors, and seniors, they know what to do. Yeah, that's right. They have a lot of seniors coming back, a lot of players coming back for this year. Obviously, the one highlighter is Blake Corum, also Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson, who also switched to number 1. His jersey number is now going to be number 1, so that is going to be something or something new for us at least. Go ahead, put on some Michigan highlights here. Grant says, I think it'll make them play better playing for coach. I think so too. I think, they definitely have a chip on their shoulder, and, it will just be more fuel to the fire for Michigan players. Wolverine 77 says, I would love to stay, but it is time to fire up the grill. Hey, I respect that. Go have a great dinner. I actually just had mine. But yeah, go have a great dinner, fire up that grill, and I'll see you hopefully in a win in my post-game video. Challenge Gamer says, yo, Michigan Sports Talk, are you going to any games this year? I'm planning on it. I don't know which games I'll be going to yet. I want to go to a Big Ten game, and I've obviously thought about going to the Ohio State game this year, but we'll just have to wait and see. Wolverine 77 on his way out says Michigan 52-21, and that is his score prediction. Yeah, Benny, that is right. Also, sorry about the long comments. I gotta fix that. Try to fix that in my next stream, but yeah, I'm gotta fix that. Longer comments are getting cut out. Yeah, Michigan State against Central Michigan. That should be a good game. Nebraska choked away another close loss against Minnesota last night. That obviously sucks. But alright, so the next thing that I want to talk about is some over-unders for Michigan against ECU. So some over-unders that I want to talk about with you guys. Let me know what you guys think. So total yards, 450.5 over-under. Do you guys think Michigan will get more than 450 yards or less than 450 total yards in tomorrow's game? They obviously have returning quarterback J.J. McCarthy, a lot of senior wide receivers out of Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson. And also, Roman Wilson was actually the leading receiver coming out of fall camp. So that is something to watch there. Should be electric this season. He's definitely got speed. Challenge Gamer says that going to the Ohio State game this year, go blue. Yeah, hopefully maybe see you there. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm still deciding which games. Grant says over on the total yards. So again, the total yards 450.5. Benny says on the ground over. Yeah, I mean probably, but we'll just have to wait and see. Me personally, 450.5. I think that they may cover that, but we'll just have to wait and see. It just kind of depends. Obviously, they don't have their offensive coordinator, Sharon Moore. Kirk Campbell, the quarterback's coach, will be taking over that role tomorrow, so that may affect the offense. We'll see, though. So we got some more. Let's go ahead and put that back up. So we got some more. Total touchdowns, 6.5. You guys think Michigan will score more than 6 touchdowns or less than 6 touchdowns in tomorrow's game? Let me know what you guys think. We also got some more here coming up. But me personally, I think Michigan will definitely score more than 7 touchdowns. And yeah, so we also got passing yards, 250.5 on the passing yards. Over under 250.5. In rushing yards, I also put 250.5. Grant says over. I'm guessing on the total touchdowns. I agree with that. Over 7 touchdowns. I think so too. And yeah, passing yards 250.5. And rushing yards 250.5. I think Michigan will definitely surpass 250.5 in the rushing game, maybe. Grant says, I'm feeling a pick six tomorrow. I don't know why. Hey, it would also be awesome. Pick sixes, in my opinion, are like one of the best things. Like, it is like very exciting, especially when you have like Gus Johnson on the call or somebody. I do have turnovers. Michigan turnovers over under 2.5 turnovers. You guys think Michigan will cover that one? Benny says, we'll see. I think they will do just fine, but App State did happen, but that's not going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully App State doesn't happen again tomorrow. Don't think it will. This team is just, I mean, this is the best team under Jim Harbaugh for sure. You know, we got a lot of talent, a lot of seniors coming back. You know, everybody coming back for a reason. That's to win a national championship. That's what Blake Corum said as well. Challenge Gamer says, let's see if I can get that up. A little bit. Win a national championship. No other year matters besides this year. Go Blue. Hey, it's for me. It's natty or bust. Michigan, they've made it to, the the playoffs. 2 years in a row now. Haven't won a playoff game yet. You know, it's time to win a playoff game and head to Houston. It's Houston or bust this year, I think, for Michigan. Benny says, this is the year to win a title, all or nothing. I completely agree. I mean, this team, man, you know, this is a very, very talented team. Everybody coming back. I forget what the percentage is, but it's over 80%, production coming back for Michigan. So one of the best in the nation. I think top 6, I believe, in the nation of returning production. So, yeah, definitely title or nothing here for Michigan. Also, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Eastern Carolina, how many points do you guys think they'll score? I mean, they are breaking in some new players, a lot of new players. They lost a lot of key production. How many points do you guys think East Carolina will score against Michigan? Me personally, I think probably go with like 10 or 14 points. I think I would give them that. They might score more because, again, the injuries in the secondary for Michigan. They obviously have Will Johnson, Rod Moore, Makari Page banged up a little bit in the secondary. Challenge Gamer says 14 points for East Carolina. I agree with that. Then Antoni, hopefully I said your name right. 10 points, I'm guessing, for East Carolina. I agree with that. 10 to 14, I think. Jason says 13, 13 as well. Benny said 7 earlier. Yeah, that's right. You did say 7. Mike says, hopefully 0 against our starters. Probably 10 points max versus the backups. Yeah, that is true. I know, against like Colorado State in a couple of those first games for Michigan last year, the teams scored, a lot of or most of their points, some of their points against the backups. And he says they aren't going to do that much on that defense. I mean, yeah, Michigan's defense, that defensive line is going to be stellar this year, I think. They got so much talent. It's going to be insane, I think. Even the linebacker position may be the most stacked position for Michigan. I mean, what position do you guys think is the most stacked position? Because we got edge rushers, we got defensive linemen, defensive tackles. Talking about Mason Graham, Chris Jenkins, Kenneth Grant. Then obviously Braden McGregor, I think he will have a great year. And transfer from Coastal Carolina, Josiah Stewart, who is supposed to be a big addition for Michigan on the defensive line. Definitely been catching some eyes lately. Oh yeah, running back for sure. I mean, Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, probably better than most of the Big Ten starting running backs. All right, so the next question that I want to ask: who will be the leading receiver in tomorrow's game for Michigan? Let me know in the live chat. Yeah, running back. Yeah, that is offense. We were talking about defense, but running back too. I mean, the offense, the whole offense. Running back, wide receiver. There is a question mark. We gotta see who steps up. We do have Darius Clemens, Tyler Morris, who's a little banged up right now, but he should be good to go by week 2. Anthony says offensive line is the most stacked. I actually agree with that. Offensive line is stacked as well. They have like 7, maybe more guys that could start anywhere else, and Michigan's gonna have their hands full of deciding who's starting, deciding who's filling in the roles. The offensive line, should win back-to-back Joe Moore awards for the best offensive line in the country. Challenge Gamer says that they're both really good, but the speed that Roman Wilson has, I think he will be the best head one. I think Roman Wilson is definitely going to have a good year. It's going to be exciting to watch who, between Roman Wilson and Cornelius Johnson, who will have, more yards this year, more touchdowns. But I think Roman Wilson, right now, he's probably could be our best wide receiver. His speed is going to be awesome, I think, for Michigan this year. And Tony says Michigan should be able to tire teams out with a 2 offensive line rotation, of course, leaning on your starters. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, especially with this new rule in college football with the clock, it doesn't stop anymore on a first down. The only time it stops is, I believe, in the second half, under 2 minutes to go, and in the first half as well, under 2 minutes to go. So Michigan, Jim Harbaugh, I think they're going to have a great time running the clock out against teams. Benny says we have a few freshman wide receivers that are supposed to be really good. Yeah, we have Frederick Moore, who's been catching eyes, Samaj Morgan, and also Carmelo English. All 3 of them, have had their moments in fall camp, I think. So definitely, hopefully see some freshman wide receivers get some playing time tomorrow. We need some Buckeye talent wide receivers. Yeah, it would definitely be nice. The only thing with Michigan, that's the only thing in recruiting these wide receivers is, Jim Harbaugh. They're known to run the ball right now. We obviously have two great running backs, the offensive line. That's just been great, and that's I think Michigan's struggle right now with recruiting wide receivers is they don't throw the ball too much compared to these other teams. So that's definitely the downside to it. But Michigan, they got incoming 2024 four-star Jordan Marshall and also Micah Kapana, who's an underrated three-star. So they're gonna continue to get talented running backs, which is a good thing, and also offensive linemen. They definitely stacked up this class on offensive linemen, so that is definitely a good thing. Michigan State, Central Michigan, just about to kick off. That should be a good game. I honestly think that might be a close game. I think it would probably be close at halftime, I think. I think Michigan State will probably pull away. But hey, Central Michigan, they could pull the upset. You never know. Yeah, I do think Michigan, I think they will definitely throw the ball a lot more compared to last year and other years. They have JJ back sophomore season, and there's been a lot of hype around him. So he has a full off season too. He had a full off season to just get in rhythm with his wide receivers. One in particular is Tyler Morris, who was actually supposed to start in the other position beside Roman Wilson and Cornelius Johnson, but he is going through a little injury. We'll see if he starts or not. But obviously JJ McCarthy, Tyler Morris, they play together at high school, so they have that connection already. Benny says, just don't be throwing pick sixes, lol. And obviously, if he is struggling, Michigan can rely on their running game with their dominant offensive line and their dominant two running backs. Yeah, I think hopefully we'll see a mix between the running game and the passing game this year for Michigan again. I will say, with East Carolina tomorrow, Michigan is definitely, they got to take this game serious. They went 8-5 last year, and again, looking at their schedule, they did almost upset North Carolina State last year. And again, we don't want App State all over again. Michigan going into this game, probably the most hyped up season in a long time. And Tony says, I'm hoping Michigan also plays a 22 formation with Blake and Donovan in the backfield while also using them as receivers out of the backfield. That you got to pick your poison with him and Blake both on the field. Choose the matchup, who you're going to lose to, basically. That's what he said. So, tomorrow, let me know in the comments section, when do you guys think this game will be done? Or if not, do you think it'll be a close game? I'm sure a lot of the Michigan fans don't think this will be a close game, me including. I don't think this will be a close game. I think it'll be over. Probably have a 2-possession lead at the end of the first quarter. Maybe even more. But definitely be over by halftime, I think. But again, just got to take East Carolina carefully because, they have been a good program, especially last year. They won a bowl game, and, just got to take them seriously. Blake the Great. That is right. And there's a highlight right there of him. Also excited to see maybe if Gus Johnson has any nicknames for Donovan Edwards and and Blake Corum this season. He's obviously got the Don, Blake the Great, the little big man, he called him one time. Yep, the Don. Who do you guys think will have the most rushing yards, Donovan Edwards or Blake Corum tomorrow? Obviously, they're not going to be competing or anything, but I think Blake Corum will probably have more rushing yards. But again, the main thing for them is to just not get injured. Split the reps up as much as possible, and we just gotta keep everybody healthy before the playoffs. Blake Corum, he got hurt 2 years in a row now. Before the Ohio State game, he was a little banged up. In 2021, was able to play, but last year he had one snap against him and he was just done. So he's gotta stay healthy. Benny says the game is being streamed on Peacock tomorrow. Yeah, that is, definitely sucks, but it's kind of the new TV deal, I guess, with NBC. A lot of Michigan fans were complaining about that. I do think that might be our only game on Peacock. I'm not sure, though. But, if it is, I guess just get it out of the way, right? And Tony says, you imagine Orgy, Blake, and Donovan in the backfield while running an RPO or option run play. Yeah, that is definitely like a triple option or something like that. That would be crazy, But, hey, J.J. McCarthy, he showed his mobility against TCU. I think Michigan, I know they're not going to want to do it, especially against these early teams. I know they're not going to want to use J.J. McCarthy and run him a lot, just to keep him healthy. But when it comes time against Ohio State, the playoffs, I think he definitely, should use his mobility a lot more. He used it against TCU and he was doing good. Benny says the Michigan State guy is getting carted off the field. Well, that's not good. Hopefully he's all right. P. Maximus says, the funny thing is everyone is going to get the free trial subscription and then cancel. Yeah, that is true. I know they might have a free trial. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and change that. So someone already got hurt. I'm not watching the game right now. Might as well. I do have a TV right here. Might as well put it on. See, Michigan State has the ball, though. Yeah, it should be, should be a blowout tomorrow, hopefully. But it's just nice to have Michigan football back. This has been one of the most anticipated seasons, and we're finally here. We are one sleep away of Michigan football. Benny says, yeah, I get all the games free on my laptop. That's definitely cool. That's awesome. Yeah, let me know some of your guys' predictions for tomorrow. I want to see some bold predictions that you guys have. Any bold predictions? Any bold predictions for Michigan players? Turnovers that the defense will have? Touchdowns, whatever. Let me know if you guys have any. And Tony says, Nebraska should have ran some type of option run play with Sims instead of letting him throw all them interceptions. Yeah, I don't, I was watching the game last night. First of all, that was a great Big Ten opening game. That was, definitely just is awesome to have college football back. I don't get why they were throwing the ball there. They were almost in field goal range. They may have already been in field goal range. Well, they weren't, but they had just a few more plays to get to field goal range, and they just threw a pick. They just choked that game away. But also that catch by that Minnesota wide receiver, that was an insane catch right there. I mean, I was watching, I'm like, dang, he really got that foot in. Challenge Gamer says, I pray every day for Michigan to win a national championship. That's right. I mean, hey, when Michigan wins a national championship, it's going to be one of the best days ever. Benny says, like, give out the website, but someone will end up ruining it for everyone. Yeah, I mean, don't do that. Don't want to do that. Just keep it to yourself. And Tony says, I predict the defensive tackles will get more sacks, especially Big Kenny, or at the very least, they will cave that pocket in. Yeah, I mean, tackles, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Chris Jenkins might be in there as well. I mean, they definitely could have more sacks than the edges. P. Maximus says, people have been mentioning the freshman wide receivers and Tyler Morris as a sophomore, but no mention of Clemens. I think he's a bust. Number one player out of Oregon on down to fifth string. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he was working through a little something. I could be wrong. I don't fully remember. But, Darius Clemens, we just got to wait and see. I do think him and Tyler Morris will definitely get their chance, both of them. They have great talent. Darius Clemens, he's going to be more of a Cornelius Johnson type of player, I think. He was one of the most talented receivers we got, so hopefully he just goes out there, balls out this season. And Tony says, that was dumb coaching by Nebraska. They knew he was interception prone. Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have a good game. How many interceptions did he throw? I have to look that up. Jeff Sims threw 3 interceptions. Yikes. And 1 fumble loss too. Minnesota only threw 1 interception, so only 1 turnover, not too bad. But yeah, Minnesota they just took over that game at the end. Definitely awesome to have college football back though, man. Tomorrow, got Michigan, East Carolina, and then TCU and Colorado. I think actually might be a close game. We'll have to wait and see though. And then also the night games, West Virginia versus Penn State. And we do have Indiana, Ohio State, but that one will probably be a blowout. I'm pretty sure there was another game on tomorrow night. See, the Miami game is delayed right now. Interesting. Benny says, we are all going to laugh if Central beats Michigan State. Yeah, I mean, they are driving right now, I think. They have the ball. Michigan State didn't score on their first possession. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, they have a chance to pull the upset against them. Yeah, they're in Michigan State's territory right now. That would be really, really bad for Mel Tucker and company. Yeah, I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. See what Anthony has to say. I'm rooting against all Florida teams and Kentucky for stealing our players with that NIL. yeah, I mean, talk about, um, you know, Aaron Childs, who committed to Florida, went there because of NIL. Kind of sucks, but I mean, if you want to come win a national championship, your best bet is probably to come to Michigan over Florida. Same thing with Miami. I mean, they haven't been doing too good. They didn't do that great this year, or excuse me, last year. We'll see how they do this year, but NIL Michigan is getting better. They have you know long ways to go, I think, but it's definitely a lot better. They've opened up collectives and stuff, which was nice to see finally. Um, but it's just the main thing for us is we aren't going to pay players. Jim Harbaugh doesn't even want that, so that's really where Michigan is probably going to lose out on a lot of these recruits. And Tony says they're dysfunctional with a hard schedule. They will lose. Yeah, I mean, Florida, Miami, I don't know which one you're talking about. Probably Florida because you mentioned them. But yeah, Florida, I don't even know what their schedule is. But, they're in the SEC. They got a long way to go. And that game, I mean, they lost to a backup quarterback and they just got blown out. Like, it wasn't even a close game. They tried to come back a little bit at the end, but it just lost to a backup quarterback. Definitely is not good. Benny says Central is about to score. Yeah, see their first and goal? They were in the red zone, so Michigan State think they got their second and goal right now. They got their hands full tonight. But yeah. So anything you guys want to say, just go ahead, leave it in the comment section. We're just pretty much chilling at this point. I did go over, the preview. I might as well just go it over again. But and Tony says Florida already lost to Utah and Miami. Will lose their games to look at Florida schedule. Pull it up. Go ahead. Yeah, I might as well pull up their schedule. Florida schedule. Let's see. All right, Florida's schedule. Already lost to Utah. Win their next game. They play Tennessee. That's a loss. Charlotte, Kentucky. Could be a loss there too. Vanderbilt would probably be a win. South Carolina against Spencer Rattler. Could be another loss. Georgia, definitely be a loss probably. Arkansas is a tough game. LSU is a tough game. Missouri, Florida State. Yeah, they could definitely lose some games this year. That is a nasty schedule for them. Challenge Gamer says, are they at Michigan State? Yeah, Central Michigan is at Michigan State right now. It's 3rd and goal. He got backed up, though. Probably. Oh, he almost got that. Alright, might as well go over real quick here for those of you who weren't here earlier in the stream. Go over East Carolina again real quick. So first of all, I forgot to mention, this is the first ever matchup in history for Michigan against East Carolina. So that is definitely interesting there. First ever matchup between them. ESPN matchup predictor has Michigan winning with the 94.8% chance. The spread is 36. The over-under is 51.5 points. And then again, ECU, talked about it already. They did low, and their top receivers, which were C.J. Johnson, Isaiah Winstead, both 1,000-yard receivers last year. They're both gone. So their quarterback will be Mason Garcia. Their running backs will be a rotation between Rajay Harris, Marlon Gunn, and also Georgia Southern transfer Gerald Green. And their wide receivers is Jalen Johnson, Jarrett Garner, and Hatfield. And their tight end also, they have their starting tight end coming back, Shane Calhoun. So they are breaking in, a lot of new players because I'm pretty sure they lost 4 offensive starters and 6 defensive starters. So they're breaking in a lot of new players. Benny said, settle for field goal, talking about the Central Michigan game. I guess I wasn't watching the game. I don't know what happened. Antony says, hold on, let me go back. Put some Michigan highlights back on. Antony says, what do you think about Michigan's receiver route tree? I think they need more routes. Most of Michigan's receiver routes are predictable. I've been begging them to run more run more slants. Well, I mean, they did, against Ohio State. Cornelius Johnson, I guess it kind of depends on the receiver. But Michigan, with their speed, I think like with Samaj Morgan, Roman Wilson, they, with that speed, I think they could probably run more slants probably. Slants, it just depends on the defense also. But, Michigan with Cornelius Johnson, he broke that Ohio State defense apart. But I mean, yeah, Michigan wide receivers, they definitely could get better on their routes, but Antony also says, when you think about all of, probably said, what do you think about all of Michigan's big receiving plays? Most of them have been some type of slant. That is true. I mean, like, the Roman Wilson touchdown against Maryland, that was, I don't know if that was a slant, but it was something similar to a slant. Ronnie Bell was a great route runner for Michigan. But it all kind of starts with the slot receivers that we have. I think if Michigan can get a speedy slot receiver, I think they could definitely run better routes and everything. Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson, I think will have great years. Cornelius Johnson will most likely be running those deep routes more often. Roman Wilson will be that speedy wide receiver, wide receiver screens, slants, maybe more, so we'll just have to wait and see. Did Central Michigan score yet? See, Central won't win doing that. They turn the ball over? Probably turn the ball over then, I'm guessing. It's going to be a tough game for Michigan State, though. All right, so is there anything you guys want to comment down below? Anything about Michigan's game tomorrow? Probably wrap up the stream soon here. do plan on, potentially doing more streams. Let me know what you guys think. This is, I did do some last year, a couple of them, but still kind of new to it. Challenge Gamer says we play at Michigan State at night. Yeah, that don't know why they did another night game if I'm being honest. They obviously know the tunnel fight and everything, but Michigan's gonna have to go in there, drop the hammer on them, and blow them out. See, the Central Michigan went for it. That sucks. So they didn't score. Yeah, I feel like you gotta take a field goal. Like just gotta take a field goal in that position, I think. Anthony says Anthony against Michigan State was a slant. The tight end was a slant play. He would have had a touchdown if he didn't fall down. Yeah, that is true. And then even if you think about it, Eric All against Penn State, that game-winning touchdown basically, that was a slant too. I mean, that was like he ran a slant route, and it was just a really good design by Josh Gaddis, the offensive coordinator at the time. Kind of like screened, or kind of like just shifted the whole defense to the other side, and Cade McNamara threw a perfect ball right to Eric All, took it to the end zone. Obviously, both of them are on Iowa now, though. But we got Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland, I think, man, he's going to have a big year this year. Challenge Gamer says this was a really good stream. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all for coming out. Also, if you guys are new around here, hit that subscribe button. Leave a like on the live stream. And, again, thank you guys all for coming out here. And then Joseph says Michigan by 90. That's pushing it, but but yeah, I think it'll be a blowout. Challenge Gamer says, do you know College Football with Sam? I'm pretty sure I've seen them. Pretty sure I've seen them on YouTube. I don't really watch their videos that much, but I have seen them on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, Michigan, they might have to start running slants more. But I'm interested to see. Obviously, we don't have Sharon Moore tomorrow. His first game as offensive coordinator will be against UNLV. Kirk Campbell is going to be the offensive coordinator for us tomorrow. But I'm excited to see how this offense looks tomorrow. And Tony says you should do more streams. It will catch on. Yeah, I mean, I am a little rusty right now, but it is one of my first ones. I have done them in the past before on this channel, only like a couple though. But yeah, Challenge Gamer says you guys are my top 2. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who supports me. Definitely came a long way. It's I think 3 years. It'll be 3 years in January since I started this YouTube channel and really just publishing consistently. So, but I think that'll wrap up this live stream. Hope you guys did enjoy. Yeah, Michigan taking on East Carolina, the first matchup in history. Never played them before, so hopefully Michigan can put the hammer on them and win by a lot. Obviously, they're without Jim Harbaugh, so Michigan players going to be coming out playing for their coach, going to be fired up. National championship or bust type of season. It's going to be awesome. Joseph says honestly, I think they'll put 40 up and leave it to the defense. Challenge Gamer says got to help him get 1 million. I think that is. Probably won't reach that, but hey, I am close to 6,000 subscribers. So Benny says let's go blue. Yeah, thank you guys all for coming out, for for chatting with me. It's always better these live streams with viewers just chatting in the live chat. So thank you guys all for coming out. Michigan taking on East Carolina tomorrow. The number 2 ranked Wolverines coming out, hopefully in a big win, in big fashion. But that'll wrap up this live stream. Again, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. And we will see you guys in the post-game video after a big win, hopefully. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.